Welcome back to Cask and Point. Today is day 8 of our New Era Bourbon Club Advent Calendar, where from December 1st through December 25th, we'll be trying 25 fun, funky, mysterious samples. We're going to give tasting notes, we're going to rate them, and throughout the video we'll be guessing what we're having, and then at the end of the video we'll find out exactly what we actually had. So let's get into day number 8. On the nose here, I'm getting a lot of maltiness, a little bit of rye spice on this. I'm immediately thinking we are not in the bourbon territory, but there is enough heat on here where I'm not really thinking this is like an 80 proof Scotch or Irish whiskey. Now, so far, we have not done well. If you haven't watched the first 7 videos, definitely go and check them out, but I did really well in day number 1, and there have been bits and pieces that I've done well in every day, but I am totally out of my wheelbarrow on this. We're on day 8, and we are maybe like 3 out of 7 if I give myself like quarter points and half points here and there with like proof and stuff like that. But this doesn't smell familiar to me. I'm getting a lot of, like there's a little bit of chocolatiness on this. A lot of lavender, like a lavender bomb on this. A ton of herbal notes. Yeah, getting some cloves on this. A really strong clove note on this. A little bit of mint. I'm definitely thinking we're in the malted category here, or some sort of rye category here. Yeah, there's just no fruit on this. The sweet notes are a little bit of caramel and a little bit of vanilla, but for the most part, this is very, very herbal. Let's take a sip. Okay. That's hot. We are dealing with at least 120 proof on this, at least on that first sip. We are looking at something that's very herbal, and so I'm immediately out on anything Buffalo Trace or Wild Turkey. I'm immediately out on Barton. I think this actually could be a Willet. Like, this could be one of those Willets that are like $60 that nobody really keeps that much attention to, like a Noah's Mill. I'm trying to remember. I've never had Noah's Mill. I'm trying to remember if it's higher proof. Honestly, this is not too far off from a Willet 4-year rye that I've tried. You know, like the 110 proof shelfer that's like $80. It's really herbal, and there's a lot of rye. So right now I'm leaning towards that Willet 4-year rye. I think this really might be what that is. Let's take a second sip. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting a lot of proof. But honestly, I'm getting a little bit of that Willet funk, which is like a nice, like fruity note that's like really, really like tertiary to a ton of herbal funk and rye spice. Like that fruity note, there's like just, it's pure plum to me. And then it's really in the backdrop of, you know, getting a lot of things that aren't really fruity at all. This tastes like a Willet 4-year rye to me. That's, I think, what I have to guess here. I'll take one more sip here before I lock it in, but I'm thinking 110 proof sounds about right. I do think this is a little bit hotter. So maybe we're looking at like a 6 or 7 year that's like 120 proof, but we're not a ton of proof. We're not at 130, 140, I don't think. We're definitely not in the 90s range though. I think we're around 110 proof. But there's a lot of herbal funk to this, but it doesn't taste like a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. I think we're in the bourbon category, or I should say I think we're in the American category, and I think within that, we're either a bourbon or a rye, but I think we're a rye. I don't think we're like some weird malt whiskey on this. This really seems like Willet 4-year rye to me. Let's take another sip. Yep, I mean, it's better than what I remember Willet 4-year rye to be. I remember I used to think it was like 6 pretty mediocre pour, which is why I'm thinking this might be a little bit nicer. This might be like a Willet 7-year, but I'm thinking this is Willet, and there's a lot of that Willet funk on this. There are a lot of herbal notes on this, more than I typically like on my Willet, which makes me think if this was a bourbon Willet, this would be like a high corn bourbon Willet, because that tends to give me a lot more of the like herbal funk to it, the Willet funk to it, but it's good. Honestly, I would rate this a 7.2. I don't love it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty, I would drink that. I think that's like a daily sipper level. I think that's like 60, 70 bucks. Let's find out what we're drinking. So day number 8 here. Knob Creek Bourbon, what the hell? to Knob Creek 120 proof. So, okay, yeah, it was a little bit higher than 110. I think I said it's around 120. I'm going to give myself points for that. Do not taste like a bourbon, though. What the heck? This is a bourbon, correct? Yes, it's actually an 11 and a half year pick. Let's find out exactly why. This is a store pick from our potential new home for our barrel pick program. Devin Liquors out of Wisconsin has some legendary picks in our repertoire and also amazing access to some top tier barrels. This is who our upcoming Jim Beam and Heaven Hill picks will be coming through. Cool. So it's a liquor store that the New Era Bourbon Club are good friends with, Devin Liquors. Wow, I am totally thrown off by this. I mean, I'm not getting any of that typical peanut on this. Man, I wasn't even close. 11 years and 120 proof. Yeah, the proof definitely comes through on that. I mean, it's nice. It's definitely better than like a Knob Creek or Knob Creek 12, but it doesn't even taste like a bourbon to me. I'll take one more sip here with you guys now that I know what it is and see if my thoughts change at all. Yeah, I'm still getting a lot of like a maltiness on there. A lot of herbal funk on that. I don't love it, but I can see why people might like it a lot more. And it's definitely a little bit hot. Like I think it's definitely 120 proof. Definitely see that. 11 years old. I've never been the biggest Knob Creek store pick fan, but this is definitely better than ones I've had before. So, yeah, well done, Devin Liquors, for your barrel pick. But thank you all for watching. That was day 8. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will catch you all in day 9. But for now, have a lovely rest of your day.